Hello and welcome to this review of the Bachmann 4mm scale BR Standard Class 9F. This particular model is 92220 Evening Star, BR Brunswick Green, the last locomotive to be built by British Railways, entering service in March 1960. The model comes in the now standard new style Bachmann packaging, outer slipcase, inner card tray, containing plastic slipcase, plastic tray, vacuum form tray. I was sceptical when this design was first introduced. I feel I've been partly vindicated. You can see that the tray has a tendency to move slightly. The net effect on this model is that any movement in transit was transferred through the area of packaging that surrounds the cab roof to the cab roof itself, and quite a few examples that I inspected had actually damage to the cab roof where the packaging had pushed up the corners. I've now cut away these corners. Ideally, Bachmann should have moulded sort of bubbles to prevent any direct transfer of force to the commendably fine and therefore fragile rear corners of the cab roof. The model comes with vac pipes, drain cocks, screw link, dummy screw link couplings, and footsteps. Also should come with etched plates. I've seen a few models seem not to have been supplied with etched plates. Nameplates, commemorative plaques, and also etched brass works plates. The latter a little bit odd, given that the works plates should be painted in white and not gold coloured lettering. The net result is sadly they haven't printed the name, the builder's plates on the loco, so you've got to either have etched brass or nothing at all, or source yourself some etched stainless steel ones. Moving to the model itself, beautiful 9F, really captures the character of the real thing very well indeed. The model is representing Evening Star period 1960 to 62, as evidenced by the small smoke box footsteps. Starting with the chassis, the pickups are on the first, second, fourth, and fifth driving wheels. Direct drive from the motor is to the second and third axle. The front bogie, front pony truck is slightly sprung, beautifully hugs the track. The couplings on both the loco and tender are in NEM pockets, and the buffers are sprung. The valve gear is commendably fine. I think it's a mixture of etched and cast parts. Certainly the connecting rods and the eccentrics seem to be thick, nice bulky weight to them, look great. As seems to be usual on most Bachmann models with Wall-Shots valve gear, the actual valves at the top of the cylinders are fully functioning. Really looks lovely in motion. This particular example runs beautifully. Word of warning, previous 9Fs that I have had, or still have suffered from jerky running. This has been traced through a few hours of iterative working to either badly quartered wheels and or slide bars not providing enough fore and aft travel, or the actual valves at the top of the cylinders knocking the rear of the cylinders, because the actual valve guides are a separate part and not always glued in correctly. So if you do suffer jerky running, it'll probably be one or a combination of those. Moving up the model, the running plate is cast. On this batch, or what I've seen of this batch, and a few other, well, at least one other 9F that I have, the running plate is slightly bent, sort of bending around the point of the mechanical lubricator. It is not flat. Again, on the early 9F releases, it was, so I don't quite know what's happened there in the manufacturing process. Bit of a shame. Should be fixable. The running plate can be removed from the boiler. Moving round to the smoke deflectors, they again appear to be etched brass, commendably fine. They do appear to be a little over-rolled. Again, early batches of 9Fs had much flatter deflectors, and these appear to have a sharper camber to them and also splay out slightly. Minor quibble and probably correctable. The motor is fitted with a flywheel, so it provides very, very smooth running. It's mounted up in the boiler in a series of cast blocks. The boiler smoke box are injection moulded plastic. Chimney and dome are actually separate fittings, as is the cab. Also a separate fitting, not easily removable. Don't know why you'd want to remove it anyway. The lining on both the loco and the tender is magnificent. A little bit thick, I'd say, probably the cab and tender lining. Boiler lining is actually commendably thin, just lacking black. The black's there, it's just a little bit feeble. Some of the copper pipework, certainly the boiler injector pipework is picked out on this example in copper. Very nicely done. The copper cap chimney is there. It doesn't extend down far enough. There seems to have been some skimping on the printing. It's only on the top edge. Don't quite know what happened there. The injector overflow, whistles, etc. pipework around the top of the boiler is magnificent. As is, if I turn the model over, the regulator rodding, again separately fitted, very, very nice. Some examples, the regulator rodding, on this example a little bit, the regulator rodding is actually bent down due to the pipework. A little bit of plastic carving and glue might be required to straighten that out. Into the cab quickly. Details all there. AWS pedestal, reverser, wheel, gauges, lubrication pipework, gauge classes, just not really picked out in very much detail. It can be picked out, again, a few minutes work with the paintbrush, using brass and red and copper colours would do the trick very nicely. Glazing, cab is glazed. Rear spectacle plate there is glazed. Front windows are glazed and also surrounded in nice brass beading. Really brings the livery to life. Very nice touch there. Really adds something to it. Moving to the tender, beautiful model of a BR1G tender. Timken roller bearing axle boxes are picked out in yellow and red. Very nice touch, and certainly on a black 9F really brings the monotony of a black livery to life. Again, nicely executed lining. Rivet detail, lake crest, removable coal load, tender sieve boxes with, again, actually beautiful drain pipes there, very delicate. They're separate feed pipe to the from the tenders to the locomotive. Brake gear, 3 axles. Rear, beautifully fine ladder, lifting eyes, incredible. Lamp brackets, sadly the standard type, not BR Western Region type. Evening Star should have, minor quibble, easily fixed. Works plates, correctly printed tender number 1527. Beautiful touch there by Bachmann, well done, very fine handrails. Water scoop and scoop dome, tender filler. I could go on, again, sprung buffers, front of the tender, access to the coal space, toolboxes, handbrake, scoop pipe, etc. Quick word of caution, a few tenders I inspected actually were wobbling slightly. The tender chassis didn't seem to have been formed properly. Don't quite know what's gone on there. I did actually manage to find a good one, something to be aware of, because it was actually only therefore running on 3 rather than 4 wheels. The centre wheels float slightly. The loco to tender connection, the outer connection is, in my view, useless. The inner connection works on second radius curves. Bit more room would have been very nice, but hey ho. All in all, it's a great model. I think manufacturing standards could have been higher. Beautifully designed, runs beautifully, could have been made better, but well done Bachmann.